Welcome to another edition of Moodslingerz Magazine. And it's just crazy that we're doing a part 2 to the last podcast episode that I put out called The Diddy Debacle. Now, the last podcast, we were talking about how he made a payout to Cassie Ventura, $30 million for abuse and a host of other things. So now there's been a video released that's sort of in conjunction of why she won that civil suit settlement. And as disturbing as the video is and going around social media and people having different reactions, what's crazy is the mixed reactions across social media. Like, they are people that were very much triggered and disgusted by his actions, and there were some that just sort of blew it off like, oh well, it is what it is. You know, she was compensated with it with the civil suit judgment. And the bigger question that we have to ask ourselves is, like, we have to seriously reevaluate, the assessment of this man, because there were people that were coming out and had the allegations against him, and they just blew it off and, try to sweep it under a rug. But now everything that was said, they need to look into it even more with a fine-tooth comb. I had said in the last podcast, and I even made a post about it, that Diddy is way worse than what Suge Knight was when he was being threatening and menacing. When he was out here and he had his time as a music industry mogul, a lot of people debated with me with that statement. They were saying, like, well, no, him and Suge Knight are pretty much the same, in the same boat. But let's break it down. Let's dissect it. They both have domestic violence situations. Only one of them has ever received charges for it, has received criminal charges for it. Diddy won't even be prosecuted. It's been put out by the Los Angeles County Police Department that Diddy probably won't even be prosecuted for this incident, being that it's past the statute of limitations. Okay? Both of them have artists that have complained about they wasn't compensated properly releasing material on their labels. Difference is, only one of them to this day is still being paid off of those artists. Okay? The situation with Tupac and Biggie, only one of them has been implemented in both their deaths. So now you tell me. But like I said, again, this isn't so much to tear Diddy down, but to just really ask a question within the culture and within the community. Why are we so accepting of these type of people that are menacing like that? Why are we so, even there are people that are still, even after this video, and let me point this out. People are just looking at this one particular incident. But someone coming up in hip hop and seeing P. Diddy's journey from the 90s, there's a lot of dark, demonic energy that has always followed him through his tenure, being from when he was an intern at Uptown Records all the way up to him having the Bad Boy label. There are incidents that hasn't even gone viral on social media yet. Like, I can go all the way back to where he was hosting an event and 9 people got trampled on at City College of New York back in 1991. That incident hasn't even gone viral. A lot of people are not even familiar with that. The event was over capacity with people, and there was a situation where, people were trying to get in to the facility, rush the door, and people end up losing their lives in the process. Okay. After that, then you go into the Biggie and Tupac situation. Then after that, you go into the situation where he assaulted a Def Jam executive, Steve Stout. After that, there are implications to where he assaulted Drake. Then you go into the situation of where the nightclub shooting, where one of his artists, Shine, ended up having to do jail time behind that, and there were people that were implementing that Diddy was the trigger man and not Shine. Then this situation with Cassie, which was not too long ago. This was just 8 years ago. And the thing we have to point out is that, through all of everything he's been through, you don't see the remorse of all the things that he's been a part of. The weak apology video that's been put out in light of everything that's happened is more of damage control PR stunt than it is him being remorseful. You clearly see that. Like, he didn't even apologize to Cat. Like, you gotta say that woman's name. Like, Cassie, I'm sorry. Forget about your fans. Forget about your public and your peers. The $30 million that you awarded her, that's just par for the course. But the fact that you didn't even say her name and saying, Cat, I'm so sorry, the best that you did is just say, hey, I wish her the best. Like, and what I'm trying to point out is that, even though people want to forgive him and move on from it, that's what he's banking on. He's banking on people to kind of like move past that so he can just still be the narcissistic psychopath that he has been all of these years.